Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
Hey guys, how you doing? So today I want to go and just chat about the matchmaking as is right now before they do any future changes to it, and why I think all in all it's behind a paywall as of right now. So let's chat about that. All right, so to check out for examples and why the old system didn't work, we're going to see right now why they had to do a matchmaking difference and change it up a little bit. So this is my buddy Dagger. We have almost identical GP. So he has around 4 mil as I do. And probably the biggest difference here is he has a little bit more ship than I do. And then we look at the Zetas. So if this was the old matchmaking, we would get matchmaking based off of our GP. It would not keep in mind the Zetas in Gear 12, Gear 13s. So yeah, we are not going to get match made now because of look at the Zeta difference. 66 was 41. That's not going to be happening now in the new matchmaking. It is still possible to see 5 Gear 13s to a 7. And really the biggest thing with the matchmaking now, I want to talk about it a little bit later, but the Gear 13 difference is really the paywall in GA matchmaking, because you can still get placed in a GA now with somebody that has like 2 different teams more of Gear 13s than you do, and you might just have like 2 Gear 13s, maybe 3, depending on like what you have. They could just have like double, triple, quadruple your amount of Gear 13s, and you'll still be matchmade with them. So that is probably the biggest part in why this whole GA matchmaking as of right now is behind a paywall. But that wasn't the case before Gear 13 was introduced. After Gear 13 was introduced, this is now kind of behind a paywall. All right, so this was a little tool that I was given not that long ago, like a day ago, and pretty much you just plug in your ally code, your whoever you want to seize ally code. This is Daggers, so this is the same person we're just looking at here. And we're going to go by top 70 because that is what the bot looks at, really. It's around 65 to 70 of your total characters GP. So you can see here all 70. We're not going to read all, but the difference, okay? My total is on the left, his is on the right. I don't know why I have to... Those stupid ads, man. If I get copyrighted or I get demonetized for that, I'm gonna be pissed. But here we go. Total GP difference. 103K, so 103,000. And that is because my GP is 144,000, or no, what is it? 1.4 million rather to his 1.3. And the difference in that and why it is like that is because he has 100K more shipped GP than I do. And that's why we're never going to be match made ever again because of that huge difference. So now let's see what it looks like with my opponent this round. All right, so this is my opponent for this round as of me recording this. This is versus Darth Smith. We just got done with the GA stream, so if you guys want to check out that, go check it out. But here we go. We're going to scroll down all the way down to the bottom again. And here we go. So the total GP for mine is the same. We just looked at it, but his is a little bit more than mine. And the difference is only around 2K difference, which is totally fine in my opinion. But here is where the paywall comes in, guys. The gear or the GP boost from Gear 12 to 13 is literally nothing. There is no boost at all to GP. And that is a problem because you could have somebody that could have, like, let's say 20 Gear 13s to your like 2 or 3, and the GP difference is only around, let's just say, I'm not too sure what it is. I think it's around like 1K boost in GP or something like that, maybe even less than that. So that really isn't that big of a boost, and that's why it's still being calculated from this top 70, which is why I think they shouldn't base it off of this. They should really base it and look more in depth on the Gear 13s that they have, and just kind of go from there. Maybe they want to change up in the future, like the GP difference from the Gear 13s to the Gear 12s to see like maybe they can change up the matchmaking based off that, so it's more fair. But they did kind of address some of this in the Q&A, so we can go check that out now. All right, so we're not going to go over all of this Q&A. There's plenty of people doing it right now. There's actually Doge streaming this in a little bit, but this is going to be in the future. So here we go. Just a little bit of Malik's, and then we'll go back in the GA down here and like what's happening there. But Malik is coming soon. They don't say when. They just They're just hinting at he's coming soon. But here, this is the GAC stuff that they went over in the stuff for today in the Q&A. So one of the questions was, matchmaking seems to be based on luck and has been fair for some and really unfair for others. What are your plans to make this more fair/balanced? So now they're saying this is a pretty broad question. I think what this guy that's asking this question is getting at is the whole thing really comes down to just Gear 13s and whether or not the opponent has them, and whether or not you have enough to handle and to really stay relevant in that match. And then they go on to saying, matchmaking systems require regular and constant iteration. The exhibition round was our first attempt at it, so I get it. They're still figuring it out. They're still tweaking it. And then they're saying they're investigating the changes we need to make for the next round for improvements to the system. And that's really what I'm hoping. I think they're gonna, hopefully implement this Gear 13 into the equation. But if they don't, this game is behind even a more big paywall. GA is still behind a paywall. And it really just comes down to even more RNG, because if you get match made with somebody that has way more Gear 13s than you, and you don't have that many to hang on with and to hopefully win, you're going to get screwed over. And then you could be on the other side where you get some really evenly matched fights and you don't have to worry about all those Gear 13s. I haven't ran into that yet, but I have seen other people run into a whole lot difference in G13s. So they are still looking into it, and they are really good. I think this Q&A is great. I would like to see more of these in the future. They've done a couple of them, maybe a little bit more than that, but I do like them. And yeah, they're still trying to tweak out some of these things here. And then they go on to say and answer a question talking about, are you considering removing cross-division matches? And this is a nice one, guys. They say yes. And they also say, we're currently investigating and determining if we should do it and how we should do it. But yes, it's an active investigation for us. So yeah, this would be another huge one. For me, I've had probably the worst matchmaking is with a guy named Orleans. Cool guy, but he is, or at the time of me fighting him, I was ranked 4,000, maybe 5,000 in Division 2, and he was ranked top 50 in Division 1. That makes zero sense to me, and if they can figure out the division stuff, that would be awesome as well. So I think there's really two problems here. The biggest one is being the Gear 13, the GP gap in that, and the second thing being the divisions. So we kind of hit on those two from the Q&A and how they're going to do about that. And then probably the last one we're going to talk about here, guys, is one talking about the Gear 13s. And down here it says, are there plans to add more weight to Gear 13 in matchmaking? And this is a huge one in my opinion. Okay, so here we go. Top Hat replies saying, we've actually talked about making Gear 12 carry more galactic power so that it can better discriminate overall power in a collection better. We've been doing math at it for a bit. The verdict is still out if this does the thing we want it to. We're investigating, but we're trying to make take measured small steps. We don't want to throw a huge wrench into matchmaking that we know a number of players are already sensitive to. So, oh man, this I think can fix that little problem. I still would rather just have it, the whole GP boost from Gear 12 to Gear 13 should be a massive boost. It's not though, but if they want to go about it making the GP higher for Gear 12s, that could also work. In this round, I'm faced against this guy, Darth Smith. He has like around 11 more Gear 12s than me, and we're still placed together, and that's kind of big. He has like 2 whole teams more than I do for Gear 12s. So if they want to base off of that for the matchmaking, that also might work. I still think it'd be a little bit better to increase the GP of Gear 13s and then go from there with the matchmaking. So guys, that is kind of what I wanted to go over for today. Just talking about Gear 13s and how they affect the matchmaking right now in the game, and how, as of right now, without them touching anything and with them now introducing Gear 13, how it is behind a paywall as of right now. You could say it's not behind a paywall if you get good RNG with who you match made with, but if you are unlucky and you're getting match made with somebody that has a bunch more Gear 13s than you do, you are super screwed, and that is where the RNG kicks in and the paywall is kicking in as well. So yeah, from what we just read on the Q&A, there is a lot of potential for this to be a great game mode for GA. We've now had, I think this is the 4th exhibition we're on now, And there is plenty of improvements that we've been seeing from the first exhibition to this last one, because of this first one we didn't have gear 13s, now we do. We can see how it's changed and how we can still fix it and tweak it, so there is a lot to do with matchmaking as of right now. I think that if they play their cards right, Top Hat and the devs from the game, this can be an awesome game mode. Implementing the Gear 13s into it is probably the biggest thing, and then making it so there's no cross divisions is another big thing there. Those two things, keeping them in mind, would really help out this game mode and matchmaking. So that's kind of it for today, guys, for the video. If you guys did enjoy it, give it a like, share with others, and sub for more type of content. And if you do want to go check out Discord, we have a Discord link, and same with Patreon. That's it for today, guys. Be safe out there, and I'll see you later.